Hey guys, it's Annie, your psychic limitless mindset manifestation coach. Guys, today I'm going to tell you how to develop your psychic senses. But actually, let me rephrase that. How to develop your senses. Your seeing, your knowing, your feeling, having that strong sense that something's coming, or you see it coming, or you feel it, or you know it. That's what we want to develop, because the more we get behind developing that, guess what? The state that you're in terms of manifesting becomes even more stronger. Yeah, so stay tuned guys, grab your pen and paper, make some notes, and don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. So one of the things I want you guys to do is go away and look at influential people in the public eye. Go and look at them. So my influential people are the likes of Conor McGregor, Mayweather, Jim Carrey, Denzel Washington. You got someone like Jennifer Lopez. Go and look at people who are so influential. And what you'll find is that there are common themes that run through these influential people. And that is how strong one of their senses are, or even all of their senses. So what do we mean by that? So if you look at some of their speeches, they say a lot of things like, I just know it's going to happen. I believe, I feel it, I see it. Yeah. So all of these are your clairs, they're your senses. But where did they get the power and the energy behind that? Where did they get it from? And that's what I'm going to explain to you today, guys. So when we look at the senses, guys, the sense of knowing, feeling, hearing, possibly, and seeing, when you look at those senses, what you'll find is everyone's on different levels. Everyone is not on the same level. So the highest form of that level is called psychic energy. Now that psychic energy is granted by the universe. That's why I don't really want to say how to develop your psychic senses. I just want to differentiate it and put it like senses. You got senses and you got the psychic senses, right? Psychic senses, it's a bit more complex, it's a bit more advanced. So when that psychic energy is granted by the universe, you are able to pull out specifics or validations. So, when you'll see a lot of courses and they say, we'll teach you how to be psychic. I'm yet to see a course like that, because to teach someone to be psychic, that's impossible, because that energy is granted by the universe, right? So when I came into my abilities, it was granted by the universe. Even though I was born with the energy and I was born with the abilities from my generational line, I still had to go through what was called universal tests. So as I did that, I perfected my craft, I perfected my ability even more. I showed to the universe how much I'm willing to work and dedicate myself in the service to others. Then I was really granted the ability to do so, right? So that's the thing that you need to differentiate. Now, even though you can develop the psychic senses, don't put yourself at a disadvantage, like, I'm not completely psychic. Well, in fact, if you strengthen one of your senses, when it comes to your manifesting state, you'll have enough energy, a lot of energy actually, if you do it right, behind the momentum towards your desires. So one of the things I absolutely love about Conor McGregor, put aside his witty banter, his humor, the way he is, his persona, his energy, but his ability to hold a visualization and speak it out into existence. Now, when he speaks it out, he has enough energy, momentum behind one of his senses. So a reporter asked him, okay, so how are you going to knock this guy out? And he said, I'm going to do it like this, like this, like this. He was so specific. He was so to the T, this is how I'm going to do it. And then he dropped a funny comment saying, call me the Mystic Meg because I predict. Well, that's exactly what I do. But he had enough momentum behind that. And I found that was so hilarious. But watch some of his interviews, guys. He's quite in tuned. He's quite a character, but someone where we can learn and observe how he is and how he really does tap into his senses. So why is it important to build one or all your senses? Why? Well, that's going to differentiate you from other people, particularly when things go sour. So what do we mean by that? Sometimes you'll find certain things, external factors, do not work in your favor. But the ones that keep that momentum going in terms of the strength, the energy, the courage behind their senses are the ones who are going to see it through, compared to those who just give up. You just flat out just give up. Yeah. See, those are things what I call universal tests. And those kind of tests that I was put through before I even came more so into my psychic kind of abilities. So that's what's going to differentiate you. So look at Mayweather as another example. He knew he was going to be the greatest boxer of all time, the GOAT. Yeah. But not only did he have the strength behind his senses of knowing that, he also had a great game plan. And his game plan was to bring the best out of every boxer into one, and that is him. And that's what he did. He stuck to his game plan. So you can build your senses as much as you want, but if you don't have a practical element to it in terms of your own game plan to execute it, well, it's just going to be a sense. And this is where people get confused with manifesting, right? So you can get into the state, but if you don't have anything practical in terms of a game plan, then it's just that state. That's all it's going to be. These things that you want to attract to you, right? It happens when you have a very strong sense, when your mind, body and soul is all aligned and you have a game plan. So another example I can give you is J.K. Rowling. Now J.K. Rowling, she had an interview with Oprah many years ago, and it was based up in Edinburgh. And Oprah asked her the simple question, how did you know this book was going to be so huge? And J.K. Rowling, she was quite hesitant, but she said people will think I'm crazy, but I'm not crazy now because it's done. But I heard a voice, and that voice told me this book's going to be huge. J.K. Rowling was not crazy. If she's crazy, then I'm crazy. Then all psychics are crazy. Because she had a sense of what was called knowing, feeling, seeing, but also a sense of hearing. Now, when you're tapping into a certain level in terms of your senses, you are spiritually evolving. You're tapping into your higher consciousness. You're tapping into a higher vibration. You're tapping into a non-physical dimension. So having those senses and the benefits of strengthening your senses is going to really aid you on your soul path. Now, this is where it gets a bit messy, particularly within the psychic industry, and probably why it has such a big stigma. The moment someone starts tapping into their senses, right, they think, right, I'm going to start giving readings. I'm going to start energy exchanging with this person. That's where it gets really messy, guys, because there's a lot more behind it when you start giving out readings or you start energy exchanging with someone. It's like Conor McGregor, right? In that interview, he said, call me the Mystic Meg and I predict. Well, you don't see Conor McGregor going around giving readings to everyone just because one of his senses is so strengthened. No, he's actually using his senses in terms of his own manifesting state, in terms of working towards his own manifesting desires. Like, think about it, guys. Come on. The moment you start energy exchanging, the more the issues or challenges that's going to arise. Because one, when you're not particularly born with such energy, or it's not granted by the universe, then you're not going to really come to an awareness as to what to do, particularly if an energy exchange goes completely wrong. And we'll go into that technicalities a bit more later, guys. But seriously, that does happen. So getting behind building one of your senses, guys, is one of the biggest investments you'll make in terms of your own manifesting state. And usually when someone goes through that transition spiritually, where one of their senses starts developing and starts opening up, it's usually because they've had a spiritual shift, a spiritual awakening. They start to become a bit more awake. They're like, oh, like, what's this? Like, I can see so much clearly now. I just know things are going to happen. I can feel it. Yeah. But the more you get behind investing a lot of energy behind that and really perfecting that technique, guess what? Your manifesting state is going to be so much stronger. And that's what's going to differentiate you from other people. Just remember that, guys. So I hope this video has been educational, guys. But if you have anything that you want me to cover and you're like, I want to ask Annie this, drop your comments below. I will do my best. But I'll let you into a secret, guys. Doing videos has been the most challenging thing for me because I have a tendency to zone out. It's like a psychic syndrome. I zone out, but then I bring myself back in and I'm okay. So like and subscribe, guys, to my channel, and don't forget to check me out on my social media platforms. But until then, I will see you soon.